Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive season finale of CBS's breakout hit drama, Beyond the Gates. Before we dive in, if you've been following our weekly recaps, you know we've been on a wild journey with the Duprees and all the residents of Fairmont Crest. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't already to catch our coverage of season 2 when it returns. This is your final warning. We're covering everything in this season finale, including all those jaw-dropping reveals and that cliffhanger ending everyone's talking about. So, if you haven't watched episode 24, Shattered Illusions, yet bookmark this video and come back after you've seen it. After 23 episodes of mounting tensions, secret alliances, and hidden agendas, Shattered Illusions delivers the explosive confrontations we've been waiting for. The annual Fairmont Crest Summer Gala serves as the perfect backdrop for the culmination of this season's storylines, bringing all our key players together for a night that will permanently alter the power dynamics within the community. Vernon and Anita Dupree's carefully constructed facade finally crumbles as the truth about Fairmont Crest's founding comes to light. Meanwhile, Nicole and Ted's marriage reaches its breaking point. Martin faces a life-altering decision, and Danny's whistleblowing has unexpected consequences that threaten the entire community's future. Director masterfully balances multiple climactic storylines while setting up intriguing new directions for season 2. Let's break down exactly what happened in this game-changing finale. The episode opens with deceptive calm as preparations for the summer gala are underway. Anita, ever the perfectionist, oversees every detail while simultaneously fielding calls about the growing media interest in rumors surrounding Vernon's business dealings. This opening sequence brilliantly mirrors the pilot episode, with several visual callbacks that highlight just how much has changed over the season. Where Anita once commanded her domain with unquestioned authority, we now see subtle cracks in her composure as she snaps at staff and checks her phone obsessively. The camera work deserves special mention here. Throughout these opening scenes, director employs increasingly unstable handheld shots that subliminally communicate the precarious state of the Duprees' world. It's a stark contrast to the steady, controlled cinematography that characterized the pilot. Vernon, meanwhile, attempts damage control with key community figures, culminating in a tense meeting with Bill Hamilton, where both men realize they may need to form an unlikely alliance to weather the coming storm. The scene between these two longtime rivals crackles with reluctant respect and mutual self-interest. A masterclass in acting from both, and after discovering Ted's secret meetings with federal investigators about Vernon's business dealings, Nicole confronts her husband in a scene that brilliantly pays off their season-long tension. Ted's revelation that he's been gathering evidence against Vernon to protect Nicole from potential criminal exposure creates a devastating dilemma for her: family loyalty versus self-preservation. The raw emotion in this scene, particularly Nicole's realization that her father's actions have placed her in legal jeopardy, is some of the finest acting we've seen all season. Simultaneously, Danny faces her own crisis when Eva Thomas reveals that the documents Danny leaked to authorities have put dozens of community families at risk of losing their homes due to potential title issues. This cruel irony that Danny's attempt to expose wrongdoing could harm the innocent creates a fascinating ethical dilemma that challenges her idealism. The scene where Eva asks, "Is justice worth destroying lives?" perfectly encapsulates the show's nuanced approach to morality. Perhaps most heartbreaking is Smitty delivering an ultimatum to Martin. Come clean about his past involvement in Vernon's early business dealings or watch their marriage end. This conversation, set against the backdrop of their elegantly appointed home, contrasts the material wealth they've achieved with the emotional bankruptcy threatening their relationship. The performances here are subtle and devastating, with years of secrets and resentments finally surfacing. The summer gala itself is a masterpiece of escalating tension. Set in the Fairmont Crest Country Club's grand ballroom, the event begins with all the expected glamour: stunning gowns, champagne flowing, and the community's elite engaged in practiced small talk. Director employs a brilliant visual strategy here. The camera begins with wide, steady shots, showcasing the opulence and order, but gradually shifts to tighter frames and more disorienting angles as the evening unravels. The lighting similarly transforms from warm, flattering golden hues to harsher, more exposing tones. Vernon's speech, intended to reassure the community about recent rumors, is undermined when Chelsea Hamilton strategically releases documents to attendees' phones during his address. The visual of guests looking down at their screens while Vernon continues speaking, unaware, is devastatingly effective. 2. Anita's attempt to maintain control by pulling the fire alarm to end the event early, only to have security override it, symbolizing her loss of power over the narrative. Third, Leslie Thomas's calculated public confrontation with Anita, revealing their shared history and Anita's role in pushing out original community families to make way for wealthier residents. 4. Ted's unexpected defense of Vernon when federal agents arrive, suggesting that family loyalty may run deeper than his previous actions indicated. The gala sequence culminates in a stunning tableau, the community's elite divided into clear factions as Vernon faces the consequences of decades of manipulation and questionable business practices. In Vernon's most vulnerable moment, Anita steps forward to make a shocking confession. She, not Vernon, orchestrated the manipulative land acquisitions that founded Fairmont Crest. This revelation recontextualizes the entire season, explaining Vernon's periodic moments of genuine confusion about certain accusations. Anita's explanation that she did it all to create a legacy of Black excellence and wealth that couldn't be taken away reveals layers to her character that make her simultaneously more sympathetic and more frightening. Bill Hamilton's reaction to Anita's confession leads to the season's most unexpected reveal. Bill and Anita had a relationship before she married Vernon, and there are questions about Nicole's parentage. This bombshell explains the decades-long tension between these families, while creating fascinating new complications for season 2. Rather than allow multiple families to face ruin, Martin publicly confesses to his role in the original land deals, offering himself as the scapegoat. This act of sacrifice to protect both the Duprees and the community demonstrates Martin's growth throughout the season, while setting up his potential legal battles for season 2. Witnessing these revelations forces Dani to confront the gray areas of justice and privilege that she's previously viewed in black and white terms. Her conversation with Chelsea Hamilton, where they acknowledge being on opposite sides but potentially wanting the same outcome, a more honest community, hints at an intriguing alliance for next season. As federal agents lead Martin away, Smitty makes a cryptic call to an unknown person saying, "It's done. Now you need to keep your end of the deal." This suggests Smitty may have orchestrated Martin's downfall for reasons yet to be revealed. Nicole discovers pregnancy test results in her bathroom trash, not hers, indicating someone else in the household is expecting. The camera lingers meaningfully on a photograph of Ted with his assistant. Leslie Thomas meets with an unseen character in a car outside the community gates, passing over a flash drive with everything you need to finish them. When the camera finally reveals her accomplice, it's Eva, suggesting the supposedly moral Thomas sister may be the true architect of the Dupree's downfall. Most dramatically, as Anita and Vernon return to their now empty mansion, they find Bill Hamilton waiting in Vernon's study with documents proving he's been plotting this moment for decades. His parting line, you took everything from me once. Now it's my turn, leaves us with the perfect season-ending question. What exactly happened between these families 30 years ago? The final shot pulls back from the Fairmont Crest gates, now spray-painted with the word fraud, as lights go out in homes throughout the community, a visual metaphor for the darkness that has finally engulfed this once pristine world. Throughout the season, Beyond the Gates has thoughtfully examined how the pursuit of exclusive community can become corrupted by the very barriers erected to protect it. The gates of Fairmont Crest, initially presented as shields from an outside world that hasn't always welcomed Black excellence, gradually transform into symbols of moral compromise and isolation. The generational divide between the community's founders and their children forms the emotional core of the series. The first generation's determination to create unshakable foundations for Black wealth and power comes at moral costs their children must ultimately reckon with. This theme reaches its apex in the finale when Anita defends her actions as necessary sacrifices for a greater purpose, a perspective her daughter Dani cannot accept. From the pilot's first moments to the finale's last frame, the contrast between public personas and private truths drives much of the drama. The finale brilliantly inverts several character dynamics established in the pilot. Vernon, initially presented as the ruthless mastermind, is revealed as somewhat more principled than believed. Anita, the perfect community leader, emerges as the true pragmatist, willing to cross ethical lines. And Martin, portrayed as weak and compromised, demonstrates unexpected moral courage. Perhaps most significantly, the show has offered a nuanced exploration of wealth and power within the Black community, rarely depicted on television. By portraying characters with varying relationships to money, power, and privilege, Beyond the Gates avoids simplistic portrayals while still addressing real tensions around class, color, and respectability politics within the Black community. The performances throughout this season have been exceptional, with delivering a tour de force in the finale that will surely generate Emmy consideration. The entire ensemble has created characters of remarkable depth, making Fairmont Crest feel like a living, breathing community rather than merely a dramatic setting. 1. Will Martin face prison time? Or will his sacrifice ultimately be for nothing if other evidence emerges? 2. Whose pregnancy test did Nicole find, and how will this new life affect the already strained relationships in the community? 3. What is the true nature of the Bill Anita Vernon triangle, and could Nicole actually be Bill's daughter? 4. With Leslie and Eva working together, what is their ultimate goal beyond bringing down the Duprees? 5. How will the community itself survive this crisis of confidence, and which families will stand or fall in the aftermath? My boldest prediction: Season 2 will include flashbacks to the founding of Fairmont Crest, allowing us to see younger versions of Anita, Vernon, and Bill finally revealing the original sin that set all these events in motion. I'm particularly intrigued by the potential alliance between Dani and Chelsea, two characters who began as clear antagonists but may find common purpose in rebuilding something more honest from the community's ruins. Beyond the Gates has delivered a debut season that defies expectations at every turn. What began as a glossy look at Black wealth and power evolved into a nuanced examination of the costs of achieving and maintaining both. The season finale perfectly caps this journey while setting up intriguing new directions for the show to explore. The production values have been consistently cinematic, with costume design, set decoration, and music creating a world that feels both aspirational and authentic. Special praise must go to the writing team for crafting dialogue that crackles with subtext and characters whose complexity grows with each episode. What did you think of the finale? Were you shocked by Anita's confession? Do you believe Martin's sacrifice was noble or misguided? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our coverage of Season 2 when Beyond the Gates returns. I'll be analyzing all the fan theories during the hiatus, so stay tuned for more content. Until next season, when we'll discover what lies beyond these shattered gates. Thanks for watching.